Hey guys, welcome back to Podcast 7, Part 2. I'm Tooth.
I'm Nick.
And new to the Part 7 is Michael. Welcome.
Mike popped in for Part 2.
Oh shit.
We didn't think he was here, but he is here.
Good evening.
We're talking about how, on Part 1, we were talking about how you're going to do a video game show, and I was like, well, I can't speak for him. And now, like...
I'll speak for myself.
5 minutes later, you walk in the door.
Oh, that was convenient. A little segue, yeah.
It was inconvenient.
Oh, yeah.
Could have used your dumb ass 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I apologize.
It's all good, it's all good. Glad to have you here, as always. Okay, well, since we're going to be reviewing that science fiction novel, well, video game / science fiction novel, next week.
Ooh, what is that?
It's called Ready Player One.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
You'll have to listen to Part 1 to see what it's about.
Yeah, I won't ask any more questions. Let's keep going.
As if he wasn't going to do that anyways to bump up the views.
Yeah, right. Check out Part 1 of Podcast 7.
Gotta get them views.
No, but since we're going to be doing a review of that next week, I wanted to ask you guys, what are your guys' favorite science fiction games of all time?
Damn.
That have like a super heavy science fiction vibe.
Off the top of my head, Final Fantasy 7. Because that, you don't think about it at first, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's like some science fiction elements in it. A little bit.
Well, the entire thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the cosmos, all that.
Yeah.
Man, Out of This World's pretty cool. I haven't played through it all the way, but
Very hard.
watching you play it, trying to play
cinematic.
it.
Yeah.
That game's recommended if you're a Super Nintendo owner.
It's
like $5 too.
Yeah, it's just very hard. We're warning you right now.
Yeah, that's not a.
It's almost like an interactive movie, an interactive science fiction movie.
Yeah, like, you know, a few hits and you're dead. I mean, it's
One hit.
It's like real life. You know, you can't
Yeah.
fight a bunch of aliens. I mean, you're gonna die. You'll get your ass kicked.
Right. Yeah.
Out of This World and Flashback. Or
Yeah.
Yep.
Flashback's pretty
I
cool.
mean, for me, I'd probably have to say like Fallout 3. I mean,
Dude,
Yeah.
shit, yeah, dude, the vault, man,
Yeah.
that's so cool. And fucking blowing the nuke up. I don't want to. Heads up on the spoilers, sorry, but
well, that's an optional thing. That's
Yeah.
not part of the story. So
just
you're
that whole
you're not
game.
ruining anything.
That game's awesome, man.
But yeah, with like all the there's people trying to go into space, and then you have like all the plasma rifles and like the power armor that you gotta like learn how to make, and like
That's like a cyberpunk science fiction masterpiece.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time. So
Deservingly so.
for me, Fallout 3 is probably my favorite science fiction
That was
game.
Game of the Year in 2009?
Yeah.
Something like... I know it's Game of the Year, but...
Yeah, I have the Game of the Year edition right
So
there.
bottom line, it's if you don't own it, if you've never played Fallout 3...
You've probably heard of it, but...
You've probably heard of it. I'd recommend it, man. It's a quality game.
Yeah, that could be a bug. They actually, for PlayStation 1 and 2, they used to make, they made a whole series of games, based off of the Ender's Game novel.
Yeah.
Like the Zone of the Ender's games.
Yeah.
There were 3 or 4 of those, I think.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
They were
about.
mech fighting games. I never actually played them. But
Yeah.
They're doing an HD collection of Zone of Enders.
Oh yeah, we
supposedly.
talked about that.
did that get mentioned?
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima is all about HD collections.
Yeah, Mike talked about it for 2 seconds. That didn't really get talked about, but he talked about it for 2 seconds. Yeah, I'd say that and the Front Mission 3.
Oh, those
For
front
PlayStation 1.
mission games are cool.
That's
man.
my other favorite science fiction game.
I like Armored Core a lot, kind
Yeah.
of in the same vein as.
Yep, yeah.
Mine's got to be Xenogears.
Oh shit!
That's one of the best games for PlayStation 1.
And that's a tall order right there. But that's legit.
Science fiction / Carl Jung.
Yeah, right.
What's your favorite part about Xenogears? Like, is the battle system real smooth, or?
Yeah, the battle system's cool,
the story?
but just the the storyline, the philosophies behind it, it's just
It's a deep game.
yeah, it was. And it was like the first game to attempt something like that I ever played, at least.
Mhm.
Damn.
That's why, yeah, that's actually usually regarded as the best science fiction game besides Snatcher. Or,
Yeah,
Oh,
I took kind of an
dude.
easy way out.
No, that's fine.
Damn, I didn't even think about Snatcher. Holy shit! I don't own that. It's like $300, and it's for the Sega CD,
The
which
cheapest I've seen was what,
It's for the
220.
Sega CD, huh?
yeah, which is a total piece of dog shit. I mean, it's a Sega CD.
The cheapest I saw it for was $225 on Craigslist. Remember
Yeah,
when I showed it to you?
and that's a deal. I
Yeah.
mean, it's one of those games where if you want it, you'll
It's like a
pay.
cyberpunk
Okay.
It's like if the film Blade Runner was made into a game,
Yeah.
but the artist
Again.
happened to be like from Akira. If like Katsuhiro Otomo inked a Blade Runner comic, it would be Snatcher. Like that's the only way I can describe it. And like, guess who made it? Hideo Kojima. So it's like, I don't know,
Mastermind
dude.
of Metal Gear Solid.
It's just like, oh, that game is.
Yeah, that reminds me, Akira Psycho Ball is actually my favorite sci-fi game.
Oh god, dude, you're gonna piss me off. That made me so mad. I don't know if anyone's watched the animated film Akira. It's my pick for the best animated film ever made, but that's a different thing.
I know people were begging for a video game for a long time. When they finally gave them one, it was pinball.
Yeah, well, it started on the NES. They had a Famicom game, but it was like a choose your own adventure type game. You'd go along with. Like, they would give you prompts and you'd answer with quotes from the movie. And then THQ was making a Super Nintendo Sega Genesis game where every level was going to be different. So it'd be like, the opening level would be a bike race, kind of like in the movie. And then the next level would be like a platforming stage in the hospital with Tetsuo. And that sadly got canceled, and all that's left is like...
That pinball game?
Obscure scans of it on the internet, and then
That was pretty ambitious to cross genre.
Yeah,
you know, through each level.
And they were developing it for Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Gear, Amiga, I believe.
Oh wow, the Amiga. That is not.
And I think it actually came out on the Amiga, but it's total bullshit.
Not easy to find.
It's not the game that they were making. Like, it's not a finished product on the Amiga.
Okay.
I've heard it's just total dog shit, which is so disappointing because what a great idea.
Well, that kind of goes into the next thing I was going to say. It kind of has to do with episode 3 that we did where we talked about fucking stinkers, but that was more of like games that you were super hyped on.
Yeah.
You followed it. You were on the internet every day. Like.
Yeah, no, this doesn't have anything to do with that. Recently, I don't know why, but I've been playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2006.
Oh, Game of the Year edition?
Xbox for Xbox 360. And it is so fucking bad.
That's rated as the worst game of this generation.
Of our generation.
Really?
Oh, it is a steaming
I'm lying.
pile of horse shit.
If you say Sonic 06 in like a message board or something, you're just
Ugh.
you're trolling. You're not serious about it.
The controls, the camera, the fucking voice acting,
The music.
Sonic. The music's actually not that bad.
Really?
Sonic. The story is of like Sonic is in love with like a human princess. There's like
bestiality.
Yeah, there's some hard like furry bestiality shit going down, dude. It's gnarly.
I wish you guys could hear the
There's like a
expression on his face.
there's like a sexy bat character in it.
She's got tatas. You know what I'm saying?
It's dark, man.
She has heavy cleavage.
The voice acting is just horrendous.
I hate voice acting in general.
Yeah, I know you do, but
yeah, I would have to agree though.
It's so bad, but
you're gonna finish what you started, aren't
right,
you?
that's
Looking for those achievements.
More on what Nick
can't go into Top Gun 2 until you finish.
Oh, God. Can't eat
more
that
if
piece of shit.
More if I started it and I don't give up on games. I have to beat them no matter what. So
I can respect that. I mean,
I'm gonna use that to my advantage in the future.
Oh, dude, great! You're gonna bring me some fucking steamers, aren't you?
Oh, I got ET.
Oh God, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I can't remember, but I am hoping that there's a season edition in Bill Laimbeer's Combat Base.
I'm just like 100 games in. I'm just like, Nick,
you can't turn the system off because it doesn't save. It's been like 2 weeks.
Nick, you motherfucker. But so I've been playing that.
I just want to prey on this dude's weakness.
Yeah. So I've been playing that. Whatever, it sucks. It's horrible. What do you guys think are the worst games in either your favorite franchise or huge popular franchises, like good franchises? I mean, that one, like, dude, that game, man, like. That game. There's a lot of bad Sonic games, but
there are. But recently, Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations.
I want to play that, but Sonic 06, man.
Stay away.
It tarnished the Sonic name.
You'll see it for like $4
the
or
3D
$5.
Sonic for Sega Genesis is pretty out there.
Oh, Sonic 3D.
Yeah,
Sonic
you
3D
run around collecting little chicks that follow you around.
Oh man, sounds harsh.
Yeah, it's 3D on Sega. It's pretty weird.
I don't recall that one, but maybe that's for the better.
Yeah, probably.
I think the worst. Oh, man.
From a good franchise or a franchise that you enjoy?
Yeah.
From a good franchise, my answer would have to be probably Final Fantasy 11. Just because, like, to me, like, the beauty of Final Fantasy was, like, there was a complete story within that game. You could start it and you could finish it. And when you take that online, it's like, it just doesn't really transfer over. It's not an MMO. At the end of the day, it's a narrative. I mean, it's like a film that didn't get made and got made into a video game.
Yeah, especially the entire thing was online, so.
Yeah, there's no nothing. I mean, I don't know. I wish that all those resources were spent to make another Final Fantasy game that was like the rest. But at the same time, I can't hate on them for trying to innovate.
Trying something different.
Expand their user base. Because, I mean, MMOs, that's big money, man.
Yeah.
That's really why Square merged with Enix, too, is Final Fantasy 11, The Spirits Within. I mean, all that shit tanked.
Yeah.
Sad.
Mine, which I think you'll be able to sympathize with, too, is all the NBA Jam since TE.
I will agree,
man.
hardcore.
Because the new one for Xbox Live Arcade is good.
Yeah, it's back now, but I know it was in a dark place for a while.
For a long time.
They had NBA Showtime was an NBA.
No, Showtime
Jam
was a good
spin-off.
one.
I've heard that one's good.
Showtime was a good one. That was like the people that left Acclaim.
Yeah, and they started their own.
And it's basically NBA Jam. So if...
And then Mortal Kombat, which I also like. I mean, if mythologies count and special forces.
Oh man!
Yeah, no, those are part of the franchise.
You're getting into some dark places there.
Oh man, I remember renting mythologies for 64 and just being like,
what the fuck? Is
yeah,
this?
what? Like the A button turns you around.
Yeah, if you couldn't just jump and turn in the air, you would just jump backwards.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But then I played Shaolin Monks, which was the same kind of concept, and it was actually kind of cool.
Shaolin Monks is pretty.
Yeah,
legit.
that was for PS2.
That game, all the PS2.
You played as Kung
Kombat
Lao and Liu
stuff,
Kang, and it was like a beat 'em up. It was like a PS2 Streets of Rage, Kung Lao and Liu Kang.
God,
Whoa.
Streets of Rage.
Okay, I never played that.
Yeah, but the ones for 64 and PlayStation were brutal.
Yeah, Special Forces was like that was Jackson Sonya.
Yeah, that was Jackson Sonya. And
playing like CIA or whatever special forces they were part of.
I never played it.
It was like Siphon Filter with Jax.
Ugh.
But like developed by like a monkey on like heroin. Just like pounding the keyboard. Like just
pounding code in.
Yeah, just like, oh man, I'm gonna make this so good.
Mythology Sub-Zero is probably the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's pretty shitty. I would even say, and you'll be pissed off at me for this, but to me Mortal Kombat 3.
No, yeah, no.
Because that's a great game.
Whatever, dude.
Like it aged way better than I thought it would.
Yeah,
but
because it's awesome.
If you put Mortal Kombat 2 in your Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, you'll see a difference. There's just
3 has more combos and it's faster and
to me 2 is just so smooth. I know I say smooth a lot, but that's a smooth motherfucking fighter right there. I'm a 2 guy. Some people are 3 guys.
I'm 3. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, homeboy.
I remember on the next generation, I was way more into Trilogy than I was 4.
Yeah, I didn't really like 4.
4 was weird. They didn't really perfect that formula until Deadly Alliance on the PlayStation 2.
And that's when
everyone in the world owned that game.
Yeah, and for a good reason. That game kicks ass.
Yeah, that game was the shit.
And there were so many little things in that game, like chess, battle chess, and like the graveyard with all those graves. Like,
oh yeah.
There were so many unlockables in Deadly Alliance. Like if you have every grave, take a picture and send that shit in, because I don't believe it. They were like, it was like A to Z, and then like it was like 700 graves. Like, yeah, okay, buddy, let's see that.
Did you hear that?
That's a challenge to every gamer.
You hear that, everyone? If you're listening, send us a picture if you've done that. If you know what Mike's talking about, because I don't.
It's just like.
But I know, no, it's like what the unlockables.
There's so many fucking unlockables.
All right, well,
in that game.
And to go back to talking about what we're doing in the future, we're going to be challenging you to do things.
Yeah, I'm not going to front. Like, I'm going to brag and rub it in your face when you don't beat me in a high score. Sorry.
Or especially in Street Fighter, so step your game up, kids.
That's how we go. That's how we do in this place.
So, well, this has been podcast number 7.
Lucky.
Thanks for listening. Glad you guys can hear what we're going to be doing in the future and everything. So, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook, and comment and all that good stuff.
And get ready for videos.
Yep.
Videos out the ass.
I'm Tooth.
I'm Nick.
Michael.
Get rad.
Stay rad.
You gotta be rad.